Okay, what's up, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing well. As always, guys, if you are enjoying the content, please be sure to smash the like button. It does really help out the channel. And of course, make sure you do subscribe to the channel as well. And make sure you do hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. If you haven't checked out the Discord channel for Elevating Traders, make sure you go and do that. Link to that is at the top of the chat. Also in the description below, you can't miss it. You can join the Discord, chat with other traders, including myself, join the community about different trading opportunities and other things as well. And of course, you can find out more about the firm there and your discount code as well if you are looking to get 50% off your next Elevating Traders challenge. So make sure you go check that out. But guys, welcome back to the stream. I hope everyone is well, as always. Trade Byros, good morning, good morning. Hope you're well. So we've seen a lot of interesting movement in the market the past 24 hours since we last spoke. I'll start with USD as always. I'm currently still sitting in that silver position. Seeing some downside at the moment. I've already trailed stops to break even and closed 50% of the trade. So, I'm kind of letting the market do its thing, to be honest. If we do continue back to my overall target, which is around 32, then great. If price does potentially come back down to take me out break even, then so be it as well. The trade is already managed on my part. Now it's just up to price if we are going to continue or if the market wants to keep falling. At the moment, looking a little bit bearish, but there's nothing else for me to do apart from wait to see what price is going to do. I'm still looking short gold, but unfortunately just kind of missed out on my level, which I was looking to short from this week. It's missed out so far. It still could potentially go and hit the level, which is this low here. I've been looking for price to retrace a little bit higher up, back into 26.43. That's the area I'm looking to short from. It kind of just missed it by a very, very small margin. I need price to hit that level before I can look to take this sell. But basically, I'm looking for gold to keep falling. We've had a really nice retracement so far. I think we just missed on the 0.618 as well. If I map it from the high to the low, you can see we've got the 0.618 at that level as well. So that's really where my confidence lies, a little bit higher up, closer to the 2650 area. We had a pretty strong close, but not quite my area, unfortunately. So I'm waiting to see if we can come up one more time before we do get the short. But overall, I am pretty bearish on gold. The idea is looking for the continuation of that bearish leg over the past few weeks. And of course, you can see on the left, we had a lovely break of structure as well. That was our major swing low, which gave us a really big rally to the upper side, giving us the highs over there. So since we've had this strong move down, the big break of structure, looking for continuation of that lower high, really. But yeah, unfortunately, just missed out my area. So I'm seeing if gold can have one more push up to that level. And then I can start to look for some selling opportunities. And at that point, I probably close my silver position because, of course, if I'm buying gold, if I'm selling gold, doesn't really make too much sense to buy silver at the same time. So yeah, I'll probably close that silver position and just look to see what I can do with gold. But so far, I'm going to sit on the silver position, see what happens with that. And yeah, keep a close eye on gold. In terms of the dollar, we are looking a little bit bullish this morning, I think. Yeah, we are seeing some upside. I've been looking for a bit more retracement on the dollar back to this area over here, 105.4. Again, as we've been saying for a while now, price is trading at some really impressive areas on the higher time frames, particularly the weekly chart. As we can see, massive resistance not too long ago, being moved to the downside prior to that, and now there again. So I'm looking for a reaction. The market's pretty stretched, but a really pretty impressive bullish rally. Haven't seen a bearish close on the weekly chart since the candle down here. So the market is still pretty stretched, and I do think we can see a bit of reaction. Maybe the bigger move is to go and break through the level and see price trade above these areas. That could possibly be the outcome. But at least I do expect price to go through a bit of downside first if we are going to go and do that. Of course, nothing's 100%, but because it's such a big level, we saw a lot of rejection prior. I'm always going to expect that to happen until proven otherwise. So dropping into the lower time frames, the 4-hour chart, had a nice initial reaction. Price did come back to retest that range, but didn't really amount to much yesterday. As we can see, that's the range area. Price retested, did see a bit of downside, but we're looking pretty bullish now, and we didn't even take out the low. So again, what I said earlier this week, we might push up to take out the highs first before continuing down. I still think that is a nice opportunity. if excuse me, if price was to push up, take out the high, then I do think that's a nice place to look for downside in USD, but upside, or maybe Euro USD if you're looking to long that one, because Euro is still trading at a big level. But at the moment, still seeing some USD momentum, and I would wait for us to push back to the highs or take up the highs before looking for the next down move. So if we go take a look at Euro USD, you can see we're pretty much doing the opposite. Nice consolidation. Price came out for a retest. Didn't see much momentum. Looking a little bit bearish this morning. I still wouldn't mind if Euro was to push down one more time before the buy. Again, we're trading at some really impressive areas of support. I do think this is an area where, we could have a bit of a breather. Not necessarily a reversal, but at least a push to the upside as we see profit taking and just naturally sellers exiting the market and buyers looking to take price higher. So if Euro USD can give us one more push down, take out these lows, that will be nice. And if you see some strong rejection shortly afterwards, could present a really nice opportunity to take it back up again. I've spoken a lot about this area here for Euro, pretty much the same as dollar, just the inverse. And that could be a nice place to short the market back down again if we see some nice rejection when we do get there. But for now, I mean, all Euro USD has done this week is just move sideways, really. So if we can push down, flush out some liquidity underneath that low, then get the move up, that would be great. And then we can probably discuss some shorts later on as well, probably next week at this point. That's still the opportunity I'm eyeing up on Euro. Pound looking at a similar thing as well, although I'm not as interested with the buys with Pound because it's not testing as strong a level as Euro. I do like the low we're trading at here, but it's not really much compared to the way we're trading in the weekly. It's a very pivotal area in the weekly chart. Whereas this low is a strong low, but it's not necessarily pivotal like the Euro one. And because there's so much momentum to the downside in Pound, I don't really want to go against that until I got a good reason to do so. So with Pound USD, I'd rather focus on the shorts. And I do really like the shorts. If we were to come back and retest the low here, fresh level of resistance here, we broke through really nice momentum. Haven't come back for the retest. And again, it lines up pretty well with that 0.618 fib level from the high to the low. So as you can see, lovely confluence in that area. So if Pound USD again was to retrace there, that would be a nice place to look to short. And again, looking for the continuation of that momentum. So again, that's still the plan there of Pound, but all we've seen this week is just a lot of consolidation, which it doesn't really provide much opportunity for us until we start to see some movement. So yeah, not much to report on there for Pound. I do think price is likely to retrace. I mean, USD is going to be a big indicator of that. So that's kind of where I'll be concentrated on. But for Pound USD, I do like the shorts, but it's all the way up here, which again might take a while for us to get to. In terms of Aussie dollar and New Zealand dollar, these guys have both retraced, to the upside a little bit. In fact, Aussie dollar did come to retest the low here and did give a nice reaction. I was talking about this level here yesterday. I said if you are looking for Aussie dollar, there could be some nice shorts on the retest of this low. Nice reaction there a few hours ago. Reason being because it was a strong break of the low, a nice retest, but also I still do expect Aussie dollar to keep falling back down to 0.64, as that's why we have that big level on the daily chart. That's what I'm expecting us to bounce to. As I've spoken many a times, big ranging market, naturally expecting us to push to the lower end of that range, which is around 0.64. And we might see a pullback to retest that low before continuing. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for Aussie dollar. The only reason why I'm not a big fan of the setup is just because the retracement isn't big enough for me. I need the market to be a bit more stretched than that. If I do draw the Fibonacci from the high to the low, you can see we're not even coming into the 50 there. So it's not enough for me to tick my boxes. But again, just because it doesn't tick my box doesn't mean the market can't therefore sell off. It's still a nice level, which we are retesting. We've had a nice reaction, and I would naturally expect price to keep pushing lower until we get there, and then maybe we can discuss a big buying opportunity. As the USD has already hit its level, and I think we are bouncing from that. So this one, again, potentially could result in a really big buy, retesting the low here. Nice reaction past couple of days. I'm not so convinced with the movement here, so we might come back down lower for a retest. That could open up a possible double bottom opportunity. There is still that lower level just underneath us. So if that first level doesn't hold, then this is the area I'll be expecting us to turn around from. But either one of those areas, strong level in the daily chart, I do expect to see some buyers step into the market, some sellers take the profit. So I'm expecting some upside, but in terms of some entries, I would be looking for at least a double bottom there before looking for some buys, and then anticipating some entries there, stop loss below, and looking to take that higher up. Even back to that high there is a possibility. If we're really going to bounce at this day level, could definitely see a price move to that high, but I would secure gains along the way, just in case that bearish momentum isn't quite done yet. And of course, with gold and silver, we just mentioned, and dollar CAD's an interesting one. This one has retraced back to a key level on the 4-hour chart and has had a nice reaction. I do like this opportunity. The only reason why I'm not looking to trade it is just because the market's a bit too stretched for my liking. We've been very, very bullish with dollar CAD, and we've flown to the upside, and the market is still pretty stretched. So I do want to see a bit of a relief in that, more relief, I should say, before looking to get into a buy. But it's been a solid resistance level here, which is probably now going to act as support. And if we do stay above this, we could see a big breakout for dollar CAD and a lot more upside for this one. So this is a nice bullish opportunity, retesting the low there. Nice bullish shift of momentum on the 4-hour chart as well. So if we are going to hold this, there's a lot of room to the upside for dollar CAD, at least back to this area, but possibly all the way back to the high there as well. I think that could be a nice trade, and then secure some gains. And if you do get the follow through, great. Leave some positions to run. Worst case scenario, price comes back down and you could take a small win or a break even. But it's testing a nice area. I do like it. It's just a bit too stretched for me. Otherwise, I would have taken the trade, really. But yeah, I do think there is upside potential there for dollar CAD. And of course, DXY is going to be a very important factor in that, which at the moment, it does look like we're seeing some upside. So if that can keep pushing, probably will take dollar CAD with us to the upside. But yeah, guys, that's kind of what I'm looking at. Something in my eye. What's up, Philip? Good morning. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. I'm doing good. Thank you. Hope you're well too. Ahmed, what's up? What time? I use the 4-hour chart for entries. I use the 4-hour chart for entries. Dorcas, okay, GR30, we'll have a look, see, no problem. Morning, Ina, welcome to the stream, hope you're well. You think we'll see some strength in the pound now? Possibly, yeah, possibly, fundamentally so. I mean, we saw a bit of strength already this morning, to be honest, because I was looking at the chart and I was looking at the dollar pairs, and pound USD was kind of one of the only ones was pushing up. But that didn't last too long because we came straight back down, didn't we? For me, with pound USD, USD is always the governing currency. So yes, if pound is strong, we're going to see some strength and weakness 100%. But my main kind of thought process when I'm trading pound USD is what USD is doing. If USD is weak, then I'm primarily looking for buys on pound. If USD is strong, then I'm primarily looking for sells. If, of course, pound is strong as well and USD strong, then I might look at a different pair like a euro or Aussie dollar, depending on how they're doing. But primarily when I'm trading pound USD, I'm more focused on USD rather than what pound is doing, just because USD is the main currency. But yeah, we can probably expect that. But yeah, I mean, if I'm looking to buy pound, again, I don't really like the setup on pound that much. Euro looks a lot better to me. Pound USD is bouncing quite well at that low. So if you're looking for more of a kind of intraday trade, which is probably the better way to trade it at the moment, if you can get some pushback down to 1.26, there could be a nice snap back to the upside. And you can look to secure your profits there. I think looking for that bigger swing is always going to be a bit difficult. Definitely run the risk of potentially that higher time frame momentum kicking in and taking us a lot lower. So if you're looking for kind of an intraday trade for the buys, I would say focus on the low there. Otherwise, just a bit difficult until we see maybe an impressive breakout. Then we can look at some pullbacks intraday and ride that up. Yeah, failed miserably this morning. Okay, dollar yen, we'll take a look. Yeah, yen pairs are moving crazy at the moment. We'll go take a look at them as well. Good morning, Samuel. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. What's up, Lockdown? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Okay, move that anticipated, so we'll wait for a deeper pullback. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, dollar CAD looks like a good opportunity to me. is pull back onto a nice level, nice reaction as well. Um, there is a lot of upside potential, and I would say that looks like a nice first target because that's where we kind of paused this week, and that's where the momentum came from. So there is a possibility dollar CAD could see that full swing to the high if this trend is just going to continue. But I would say looking at securing profits there, or at least trading a stop to break even, or removing risk, or however you want to manage the trade, just to kind of protect yourself in case price does come back down again. Because my only worry really with dollar CAD is just because price has had such a big move. It's taken out some major highs as well. I always find it difficult to buy these prices because the risk of a fake out and the risk of a reversal is a lot high, or higher, I should say. So that's one aspect I don't like. But in terms of the 4-hour time frame, intra-week time frames, I'm liking the upside potential there. Solid rejection there on the 4-hour chart. There's a good chance we can at least push back to 1.402, and we'll go from there. Maybe we keep pushing through. Maybe we come back down. We'll make that call when we get there. But for now, it looks like a strong close. And if we are going to continue with the higher lows, that is probably where I expect it to happen. I believe we'll probably pull back to the 50% as well. I don't think it's quite the 0.618, but yeah, 50%, 0.618 would have been a bit deeper, but more or less, we're doing a pretty good job at holding that level so far. So yeah, I do agree. I think there's some nice upside there for USD CAD. We'll take a look at GR30 and dollar yen. Holy One, what's up? Hedge close, Euro pound, dance around my entry, news pushed it down. Close half of Euro CAD. Okay, nice. I suppose that's your management plan instead of using stop losses. Kind of do the hedge technique. I mean, as long as you manage your risk, that's the most important thing. Because worst case scenario, you don't manage your risk, that small loss could turn into a big one. So as long as you have things to counteract that, that's the most important thing. But yeah, dollar CAD, nice opportunity brewing up there. In terms of GR30, we spoke briefly about this one yesterday. I remember it's bouncing off that daily low there. Would you look at that? Really nice rejection. Really nice rejection. Really strong bullish engulfing. A bit difficult to take this one, not going to lie, to be honest. The reason why is because the risk reward would be a bit skewed. It was a nice rejection, but as now we're approaching back into these areas, which is where I'll be a little bit careful. Because although GR30 is rejecting a pretty nice level on the daily chart, as we can see, prior resistance turns support. This could send us to the upside here. So I do like the upside potential. You could be looking at big continuation here, but there's just so many areas where price could come into, reject, and come straight back down. So it depends where you got your entry, or if you haven't got an entry yet. If you did get an entry, I'll be looking at being a bit careful as we approach some of those prices there, because that's where a lot of momentum came from, especially if we approach the high there at 19,280. If you haven't gone to a trade in GR30 and looking for one, then this is kind of the area where you want to focus your buys. So you want to see price come back down, essentially reject it some more, then look for some entries in that area. If you're looking for shorts, then a push back to the high there looks good. The idea is that the market is still very choppy, still very corrective. So if you're looking to sell high, buy low, you got nice possibility of making some profits. I would advise not to probably look to get involved in these areas because it's just quite choppy, and you're kind of too much in the center of things. You want to be up high or down low. So if you're looking for buys, this is where you want to focus your efforts. And if you're looking for sells, I like the high here, coming back into that area, maybe pinch it a little bit. You might see a nice reaction. But 19,300, 18,900 is where I'll be looking for opportunities. In here, I'd stay away. A little bit too choppy for my liking. Hey, what's up, Tom? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Welcome. Hope everyone is doing good. The Elf, what's up? Okay, we'll have a look at CAD C Chef as well. No problem. We'll go through dollar yen first. Have not forgotten about that one. Okay. Sometimes the hedge makes no sense. Keep the trading cap loss. Yeah, I mean, that's essentially what you're using it for. Because the idea of your initial trade was to buy euro pound, but if that's not playing out, then you use the hedge to minimize the losses. Hey, what's up, FX Wolf? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, I'm still currently long silver. Still currently long silver. I'm looking to short gold, but gold just missed out my area, unfortunately. So it's a bit of an awkward one because gold is looking a little bit bearish now, and possibly it could be getting ready for its move down. Um, but it hasn't tagged my area, and for me to take a short, it needs to hit my areas. That's what I've tested at the end of the day. So I've got to wait for my levels to be hit. It's kind of just missed it by the smallest amount. So I'm kind of hoping gold has one more push up, and then I can get the short. But until I short gold or look to short gold, I'm not going to close my silver position because effectively it's kind of like a hedge as well. If I'm wrong about my gold bias and gold just wants to keep pushing up, which could be the case, well, then I'll hold onto my silver position and let that keep going. If gold does turn around and start to look bearish and I do get a signal for gold, then I will look to close the silver position and then open gold. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at really. It's like if I get the gold trade, okay, I'll close the position. If I don't get the gold trade, I'll let silver do its thing. Whether the silver's going to keep going up or stop me at break even, that's up to silver. But yeah, I'm still sitting on that one. It has been looking a little bit bearish this morning. But overall, my entry is all the way down here. I haven't trailed my stop past that part area. So it's still got a lot of room for it to do its thing. If it still wants to go up, then so be it. This is an area which we could be coming back to retest, but we'll see. We'll see. The main setup for me is still gold shorts. That's still what I'm looking for, really. But yeah, this is kind of where I'm looking to get involved, but I just missed it this morning, unfortunately. Anyway, let me go take a look at dollar yen before I do forget. So yeah, dollar yen really, really bullish this morning, looking like it's trying to push up. I'm still quite bearish on the yen pairs, and still a particular couple yen pairs I'm looking at. Dollar yen certainly isn't one of them because the market structure is still pretty bullish, and we're still seeing really healthy momentums. The upside, the pullback was pretty corrective as well. Didn't break structure either. And the important thing on the weekly chart is we're still comfortably trading above some major resistance, which of course will be acting as support if we were to come back and retest it. So yeah, dollar yen still looking pretty bullish, I must say. It's still looking pretty bullish. It looks like it bounced on that trend line as well. If I whip out the trend line from the lows down here, connecting the dots, you can see initial test over there, second over there, third over there, fourth over there, and potentially we're pushing back to the high there as well. So dollar yen is still giving me bullish characteristics. We're still seeing consistent higher highs and higher lows. Came back to retest the resistance here as well. So I would naturally just be expecting dollar yen to make its move back to the high now. We were discussing this setup yesterday. I said this actually looks like a decent buy, even though I've been so bearish in yen pairs. Dollar yen's kind of just still pushing up. Of course, USD is playing a big part in that, but market structure is market structure at the end of the day. If we don't go and shift bearish or see some lower highs developing or something like that, then you would expect the market to keep pushing. That's what dollar yen has done really well. So yeah, the buys look good down there. Now I wouldn't really be looking to do anything unless you're kind of really intraday, maybe looking at some pullbacks to some areas down here. That could possibly be another place for a buy. We've just gone and broken through that high there as well. So you could be looking at something like that to take up. But you need at least some retracement. Unless you're already in the position, the dollar yen has definitely left the station. It's definitely on its way here. So if you're looking to get involved with dollar yen, pullbacks are essential. If not, price is going to keep pushing. So look for some pullbacks. I think the 154, 800 looks good. If you're looking at some setups, kind of like hourly time frame and below. But besides from that, it's been pretty bullish. Oh, saying there as well, missed it by 25 pips. Yeah, that's gold for you sometimes. Yeah, sometimes it will just miss and then it will drop like it's hot, really. I still think the opportunities there with gold is just about, kind of readapting and waiting for the next opportunity to take it. But Yeah, unfortunately did miss on that. But I'm not going to say we missed it yet because the week is still young, and we could still potentially see gold push up and test the area. So we'll definitely keep an eye on gold. CAD CHF I'll have a look at as well. So yeah, CAD CHF looking pretty bullish here. I've been pretty bearish bias with CAD CHF after the rejection we got on Friday. Really strong resistance there, really strong rejection, but looks like price is now trying to break through that. Intentionally, this could be a really nice place for a short, actually. I mean, looks like price is, if I refine it to the full hour, looks like price is breaking through. So if we can get back underneath, that could end up being a really nice short, actually. Because it's like the market's faked out a couple of times, caught people on the wrong side a couple of times, and then that could be a nice sell to continue the range really back to the low. So the shorts are still promising, but I need to see price start to reject that high a little bit more, because at the moment it looks like we're trying to break through. So if we can pull back, it would be nice if this could just be a big wick on the daily chart today and price close bearish. That'll be a really nice signal that we're probably going to sell off. And yeah, I'd be expecting price to push back into the low because all CAD CHF is doing is ranging. So the idea of the range is look to buy low and sell high than other sellers, buy low than other buyers. So in this area, this is only bearish territory for me. I'd only be looking to sell. Sure, if we do get a breakout, there could be some nice buys later on, but I'd wait for price to give me a solid close on the daily chart before I even think about looking to buy, because the last few closures have just been big wicks. So the market's found it really difficult to sustain price up there. So if by the end of the day we see price push on and a solid candle closure, yes, I would look at that as a breakout, and then we can look for some pullbacks and continuations. But for now, not quite sold on that yet. So we'll wait to see how things develop. But to me, we're still in a range. So looking at some downside until I see a confident break. Okay, hedge sometimes across two different pairs. Okay, I mean, yeah, if you understand correlation well, I sort of see that makes sense as well. But yeah, as long as you manage your risk somehow, some way, that's the important thing. Okay, we'll go through a couple more of the yen pairs: euro yen, pound yen, FX Wolf. We'll take a look. So yeah, euro yen looked pretty bullish. Of course, they all look pretty bullish because yen has been pretty weak. That was an ugly daily candle closure, I must say, yesterday. Look at that, because we were looking really bearish at the time. We were looking very bearish at the time yesterday, and I was kind of expecting momentum just to keep falling, really. But as we can see, by the end of the day, the market pulled back and left a huge wick to the downside, inability to break through this area here. So again, not the best sign in the world, but I am still pretty bearish because we haven't broken structure. This is still, for me, the major high, which gave us that big push to the downside. If euro yen was to go and take out that high, then yeah, I would back away from that bearish bias. And at that point, probably looking for continuations back to the high there on the left. For me, this is still bearish territory. You'll pull back into some nice areas here on the left as well. So I do think we can actually get a sell here. It's a bit more aggressive because we have taken out a high. So it's a bit more of an aggressive trade, a lot of momentum to the upside, but I think it still makes a lot of sense. And as long as we don't take out this high, I still do see euro yen pushing to the downside. And it's a similar setup with pound yen. But the key thing with euro yen as well is that weekly chart as well. We've got that solid resistance, which if I take across has acted as resistance really well. You can see last week's candle was looking bullish for most of the week until Friday. We actually pulled back and closed bearish. So today's Wednesday, the market is looking somewhat bullish, but I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the week, this just becomes a big wick and the market actually pushes to the downside. Maybe not that far, but you guys get my point. So I would still expect this resistance to hold and anticipate to happen. And we're still respecting structure to a degree on the 4-hour chart as well. So as long as we don't break through that high there, yeah, I would still expect euro yen to do its thing. If price remains bullish, see a strong candle closure like that, then yeah, I would definitely rethink that bias for now, because that might mean we do go higher. In terms of pound yen, it's a similar situation as well. We've been pretty bullish, but as long as we don't take out the high here, I'm still looking for price to turn around. The initial area I was looking for the retest was this low, which price is breaking above, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do stall and then the next candle comes right back below. This might be price having a slightly deeper correction. The key thing I'm looking at is the lower highs here too, and then possibly looking at that as the third. Have we come back to test that trend line? Just about we have as well. So yeah, if I can see a nice shift in momentum, that would be a sign that, okay, I think the yen pairs are putting that high in to continue. The yen pair I do like is CAD yen. It's a little bit more of an aggressive trade, but I know the market's pretty stretched. We've come back to the high here. I've got a really nice place to put my stop loss as well above the high. So if I do see a nice rejection there for CAD yen, I will look to go short. Stops above the high, looking to see if I can get the push back into the lows. It's a more aggressive trade, so I'll probably reduce the risk on it because we haven't broken structure, and that was the main setup I was looking for CAD yen to do, go break some structure, then find some shorts underneath. But unfortunately, price has been pretty bullish there, so have to rethink things a little bit. But yeah, pound yen for me still respecting structure, euro yen still respecting structure, so the buy still remains the same, as long as we respect that structure. Unless we break through, then yeah, maybe the yen pairs are going to be bullish and they're going to keep flying. But yeah, the bias for me is still the same. But yeah, really impressive move. I didn't expect that, to be honest. But yeah, sometimes the markets got a way of surprising you, because at the end of the day, the market's either going to move up or down. It's just about timing the sells, timing the buys. Have the thing that sets your bias, if you're going to be bearish or bullish, and then work from there. Oh, okay. Okay, silver and gold. Yeah, yeah. Hedging across the two different pairs. I mean, I didn't do that intentionally, to be honest. The idea was just to buy silver because I was expecting it to retrace along with gold. And then a nice setup on gold occurred when we got that big break of structure. So, but then, yeah, kind of unintentionally, I'm kind of hedging the position, really. But yeah, we'll see how it develops, to be honest. We'll see how it develops. Until I get the gold short, I won't close the silver. That's kind of really where I'm standing, which I don't normally do, but because the pairs are so directly correlated, yeah, I'm just going to focus on one at a time. Yeah, the euro yen chart. I mean, all the yen pairs are moving crazy. Euro yen, pound yen, CAD yen are all kind of very volatile at the moment. Aussie yen and New Zealand are kind of still in a consolidation, so they're a little bit boring still. But yeah, euro yen and pound yen doing crazy stuff. But for me, CAD yen is now the one I'll focus on quite a lot now, because if we can reject that high, I know the market's pretty stretched, and I'm looking at price still holding on to, if I go to the weekly chart, still holding on to this high here as well. So the theory, the analysis behind the trade is that, you know, if we are going to maintain this high and still reject it, you can see for the past 4 weeks, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 wicks into this level. So the market's really found it hard to sustain price in this area from a weekly perspective. So I'm kind of anticipating that this week will be no different. We'll leave another wick to the upside, and I'm expecting us to then fall over. Might not happen all within 1 week. Maybe this week we wick up a little bit, pull back down, and then next week we see the continuation. But I'm looking at this being the high for the move. And the fact is, price is still very corrective, so it still kind of buys into that idea. You know, this is a very corrective chart, not really a chart which is showing a lot of signs of, you know, a healthy trend per se. I am expecting this ascending channel to, you know, meet its match and see some downside at some point. So if I do get a strong rejection at that high, I will go short. I'll give myself a bit of room in the stop. But yeah, it's a bit more of an aggressive trade, so I'll reduce the risk, but it's still a good trade nonetheless. And what it means that if I do catch that short well, then the next opportunity which I'll look to do would be waiting for that break of structure, which is the initial setup I was looking for. And then I'll discuss some opportunities below that on a retest maybe. And that'll probably come, yeah, much later date. But yeah, this is kind of make or break, because if my bias is incorrect, with the yen pairs, and they are going to keep being bullish, then I expect this area to break and prices to keep pushing. In that case, there'll probably be no setup for me, and price will remain bullish. If we are going to be bearish, then I do expect us to sell off from this area and drop. So I'll see how that develops as we go on. Hey, what's up, Lauda? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. What's up, Kwame? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. I think my bias is incorrect. Probably. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, price has been looking very, very bullish. So if that momentum does sustain, we do break the high, it probably is incorrect. And if that's the case, I'll be looking for the buys, because regardless if my bias is correct or not, there's opportunity for CAD Yen to the high, which is all the way up there at 118. Let's make sure we can see that. Or a pushback down to this low at 103. And that's really what I'm looking at, because there's either two things. Either the market's going to continue the trend and take us back to the high there, or the market's not going to continue the trend and it's going to push down to the low. Yeah, that's literally all the market's going to do. It might consolidate a little bit, it might move up a little bit, up and down, but essentially those are the only two things the market's going to do. And my anticipation of that is, if price does break through this high, then I'm expecting more likely price is going to keep pushing up back to the high. So then I'll be looking at, looking to follow the trend on pullbacks. If the market doesn't break through this high and respects it, I'm probably more likely going to sell off and push back to that low. Therefore, I'll be looking at pullbacks on the way down and a push back into that low. So either which way, there is opportunities both ways. And that's why I do all my analysis on the high time frames, and I use the lower time frames to execute trades, is to know that, okay, we've got a bias that potentially could last for a few weeks. That means when I do scale to the 4-hour chart, I'm just looking to anticipate those pullbacks really on the way down. But we are trading now. Price is rejected on multiple occasions. So for me, this is kind of make or break with CAD Yen. Either we hold or we break. And I'll wait to see how he reacts. But yeah, the yen pairs have looked very bullish. Pound yen, no playing around, has been flying to the upside, but still doesn't give me a lot of confidence that the market's about to fly. Overall, the market structure is so corrective. And that's the key thing, really, why I have kind of maintained that bearish bias for a pretty long time now, is because this market structure has just been so corrective. It hasn't been like a seen nice, swings, healthy corrections, nice swings. It's just been very corrective, which is normally what you see in price that's about to reverse. So I'm expecting us to drop, and then we have seen a pretty bullish move right now, but I'm not quite buying that. I think this could be looking to flush people out. Any early sellers from the week, within the week so far, definitely flushed out the market by now. And then this could be the move that actually does give us a really big drop. So yeah, that's kind of what I am looking for the yen pairs. I think pound yen's in a nice area to short from. It's a healthy retracement from the high. If I measure that from the high there to the low, we are looking at 0.786. So it's a really healthy correction. Euro yen, probably a similar boat as well. Oh, that's the wrong broker. Euro yen, similar boat as well, coming to 0.786, I believe, from the high to the low. Yeah, I mean, smashed through the 0.786, to be honest. So yeah, if we do keep maintaining the high here on Euro yen, we maintain the high here on pound yen, then I keep that bearish bias. We break through, I will, rest my case, and then we'll go again with the yen pairs. But yeah, I'm not going to let that move kind of deter me from that bearish bias, because it hasn't really done anything that would change my opinion yet. And as with the Aussie yen and New Zealand yen, these guys just in their range really. So there's nothing really to report on at all. As I've been saying, if a market's in a range, I don't really care how bullish or bearish it looks. It's in a range. It needs to break out before I can do anything. And then I can, look for opportunities and look at some ideas. But right now, still in the range, and we're back at the top of the range. So if you're looking to short, this is not a bad place at all to get involved with, actually. If you're looking to play a range, this is not a bad play. We just had a fake out not long ago. Now we'll come back to retest the high. This is actually a decent place to short. If you are anticipating the market to continue ranging, really, it stops above the high, pretty decent risk reward as well. I would wait for some rejection there, at least on the 4-hour chart. Audi's looking okay, but if you get a nice bearish engulfing on the 4-hour, that'd be decent. Similar to what we had over there. A really nice rejection, start a lovely move to the downside. Nice rejection there, start a nice move to the upside as well. So if you see that happen again, I think that's a nice short there on Aussie yen. And of course, if we do break the high, we break out the range, then of course we look at things too. But if I go take a look at New Zealand yen, I think it's the same thing, testing the high of the range. Actually, not quite, actually. New Zealand yen, not quite there. I'd probably wait for a little bit more upside with New Zealand yen. This is kind of where I've got the high of the range, 92, pretty much on the dot. I want to see a bit more upside for New Zealand yen before anticipating a short. And then, yeah, a swing back to the low of the range. That's what I'll be looking for. Hey, what's up, UD? Welcome to the stream. Good morning, good morning. GA. Okay, I'll quickly go through that for you. What's happening, Ben? Hope you're doing good, man. Yes, I am holding one position on silver at the moment, which I've been holding since last week. Good morning, Will. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. But yeah, I do have a position on silver, which has moved well. It's looking pretty bearish at the moment, but I have locked in some profits, and my stop loss is at break even. It was below the low here. But yeah, I'm looking to see if I can get it a little bit higher back to this area. The funny thing is I'm looking to short gold. So if I do get the short opportunity, I'm looking for a gold, I will just close the silver position. But the idea of the trade was, okay, we'll come back to a nice area of structure, retesting that high. Now looking for that to hold as support, which it did. And now I'm looking to see if we can get the continuation back into this level of resistance now. Yeah, and that is the plan. So going to see how that gets going. Looking a little bit bearish at the moment, but we'll see. Might be coming back to retest this area before continuing. But yeah, that's the only position I have at the moment. Like I said, I do have a few I'm looking at, especially with the yen pairs. I think CAD yen is the one I'll go with out of the yen pairs, because if you short one, you short them all. I'm looking to see if I can get some rejection at the high here. If I get a strong bearish engulfing candle on the next 4-hour candle, I will look to take an entry there. It's a bit of an aggressive trade, but it makes sense, and I'll give myself a bit of room on the stop as well. And if I'm right, could be onto a really big winner. So the risk is worth the reward. So I'll definitely see how that goes. And then in terms of the other yen pairs, as I mentioned with dollar yen, this one's actually still pretty bullish, so not bearish at all on this one, really. This one needs to start to break structure at least before I consider. And then CHF JPY, again with this one, I was never really looking to short CHF either. I mean, it's at a high really, and I would say I wouldn't want price to break through that with CHF JPY if we are going to remain bearish. Because maybe price is just going to continue back to the high. And if that's the case, I would expect price to go and break that structure. And if we do that, okay, maybe we are just going to keep pushing. But then CHF and dollar yen just haven't quite been there in terms of the sells. Pound yen, euro yen, CAD yen are the ones that look good. Aussie, New Zealand have just been consolidating, but if they do break the low of the consolidation, then they look like great trades as well. I've always been waiting for New Zealand yen to break structure first before considering shorting. And dollar yen, I need that to break structure as well. But then USD's just been so strong, so I'm not really interested in trading USD JPY to the downside. Is DXY still fighting to the upside? Yeah, still looking pretty strong. So dollar yen will never be the good sell if USD is going to keep being strong. But yeah, for now, CAD is my guy. We'll wait to see how that develops. But yeah, it's been a hectic move though, I must say. Yeah, same boat as well, Will. Same boat as well. Gold missed the alert by a tiny bit. Yeah, same boat as me. Yeah, I was looking to short gold this morning actually, but I just missed my level. I think we probably looking at the same level to be honest. Um, that's not the right one. There we go. So yeah, I've been looking to short gold at this area here, which is at least 26.43 is kind of where I'm looking to short gold from. And we just missed it. And I believe you're probably looking at a similar opportunity to me as well. So in the same boat. But yeah, there's a chance we could still come back and test it. I mean, as traders, we're not trying to force anything. We create a plan, wait for that plan to come into fruition, wait for that plan to set up, and then we take our trades. Anything outside of that is most likely just noise. And this funny thing with gold is that we could very much sell from here. The market's not perfect; doesn't have to hit a level necessarily, but I wouldn't want to take a trade outside of my level because if I do take a loss, then that's just an unnecessary loss, really. So yeah, gold will keep close eye on 26.50, 26.45. But yeah, I'm looking for a big swing. And then if I do get short on gold, I will look to close my silver trade. Yeah, same here, Ben. Same here, Ben. That was my expectation. I mean, that still is my expectation, really, with the yen pairs that they are going to keep selling off. I'm looking at this bullish move as a bit of a flush. Um, because we did have that sell at the start of the week on Tuesday. We had that big drop. So I do think we're kind of seeing a bit of a flush of that because there'll be a lot of people kind of just shorting the market. And now we've had a really big move up. So that would have, taken all of them out of their positions. And now we might now see the continuation. And to be honest, I still expect that because it's either we continue from here or we don't really. Because if the market does persist and keep pushing up and we break structure, then I will lose that bearish bias completely. But yeah, I was expecting price to keep falling here. I wasn't expecting this move, but I do still expect a drop down. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. What's up, Tony Gold? Hope you're doing good, my man. Oh yeah, GA. I did forget about that. If I have missed out a pair, let me know. Let me know what you're looking for in pound Aussie as well. Um, yeah, not really a big fan of this one. So yeah, with pound Aussie, I'm still looking at price coming a little bit lower. I do like the low down here as we kind of continue with all these higher lows with the trend line, with the first low there, second, third, and look and see if we can push a little bit deeper first before seeing a buy. Because all of that is just very choppy price action. This is just consolidation to me. So I wouldn't want to be trading inside the middle of that. If you're going to look to trade market structure like this, you want to be buying low or selling high. You want to be avoiding trading in the middle. It's always going to be very, very difficult to do that consistently. So yeah, I'm looking for pound Aussie to fall a lot more first. It might push up, correct a little bit, and then continue down. But this is where I want to position myself long, and then we can discuss entries and stuff like that when we get there. But for now, I'm not interested with pound Aussie at all, just because of the current situation. Very, very corrective market, not really trading at any significant area value. So yeah, I want price to keep falling first before getting involved. Very, very choppy conditions. Okay, Ben, short pound CAD. Okay, looking good. 1.7747. Okay, we'll have a look at that. Appreciate that, Shadrach. Um, thank you. We'll take a look at pound CAD. Yeah, pound CAD is actually a pair on my watch list, but unfortunately didn't come back to retest the level I was looking at, which was this low. Really healthy breakout last week, a lot of momentum there. Haven't come back for the retest, so that was my area. I was looking for price to come back and retest this week, but we've just been pretty bearish and we've come back into some big lows now. So I'm not so eager to be shorting anymore. Unless we were to come back up and retest it, that trade is still very much on. You said you got some shorts from 1.7747. 77. Okay, that's around here-ish. And targets 741. Okay, looking at a pretty big move there. Down there. That's a big sell. And stop 7846. 7846. 7846. Okay, it's roughly there. Okay, that's not a small move at all. Ben, looking at a pretty big swing there. I suppose you're looking at that kind of break of the trend line as the kind of the catalyst to get price selling off because now price is broken through that. That does open up the door. Looks like you're probably targeting this low down here, which I think is realistic. To be fair, I'm actually expecting price to get back down here. Really looking at the higher time frames, the weekly, monthly chart. I do think there is room for us to get back down to 1.73. So the move is definitely much on. Um, yeah, not the biggest fan in terms of the entry because it's coming into this low here. So that could cause a little bit of fruition there. But in terms of the risk reward, looks really healthy. I like the stop loss above the high there as well. And the key thing about this trade is momentum. Because you've broken out with a lot of momentum and now you're looking for that to continue. Because if you've got your stop loss above the high there, it means that you're not looking for price to mess around and pull back too much and see something like this before coming down. You're looking for price to break the trend line and just keep falling, really. So momentum is a key thing here. And a strong break of that low would really be a nice catalyst to get the ball rolling again because we've been a little bit stagnant a little bit. But if that can break, you're probably onto something there with pound CAD. If not, it might get a little bit messy, and that's where things could get a little bit dodgy. But if you do see a strong break of that, it means momentum is still with the bears at that point, and will probably keep falling. But yeah, I do think there is a lot of room to the downside for pound CAD because of where we're coming from. You can see massive level resistance here on the higher time frames. We've just about rejected that. So I'm looking for price to come at least back to this area here, which is that 1.73 area. Possibly could see a push all the way down here, but we'll leave that discussion for another day because that is very, very far away. But yeah, it's a logical move, but I think we just need to see the market kind of sustain that momentum. I think that's the important aspect. But I am pretty bearish on pound CAD, so hopefully we could see that level break. No problem, UD. Happy to help. Okay, waiting for it to drop further. Nice. It's 3.5R, which is pretty big for me. Yeah, I mean, not necessarily in terms of the risk reward. I mean, 3.5R is a decent, healthy risk reward, very healthy. It's just in terms of the pips as well. I mean, how many pips is that? You're looking about 300 pips there to the downside, which is no small move. Currently on EuroCAD shorts, entered at 1.48. Okay, we'll take a look at EuroCAD there as well. Little sticky after that, looks pretty clear. Yeah, if price can break through that, then there's a lot of momentum to the downside, possibly. Of course, we don't know that, but most likely you would expect price to kind of see that momentum. It was a pretty clean move up as well, so there's a good chance we could see something similar on the way back down. And we've had it been pretty corrective for a while, so I do expect us to eventually break out with momentum. So the shorts are definitely there, but momentum is a key thing with this trade. So yeah, if price does start failing at that low a little bit, maybe close some of the position, maybe. But if you can see another close like we did yesterday, breaking the low, yeah, then you've got this to your advantage because now this is going to be turn resistance. So hopefully that can then turn to your advantage. And price can reject that and continue. But yeah, it's a nice trade. I like the direction. I'm looking for something like that as well. Just 1.77 is probably the make or break area. If you clear that, probably should get you to your target. In terms of EuroCAD, which is of course a very similar pair to pound CAD, partners in crime, if you will, had a nice retest of that low there. This is really rubbing in my face because I was looking to short EuroCAD, but I decided not to because of the weekly candle. I mean, again, hindsight is a wonderful thing. Just because a trade does play out doesn't mean you should have taken it, and just because it didn't play out doesn't mean you shouldn't have taken it. As long as you chose to do your action for the right reasons, that's the key thing, really. But yeah, EuroCAD has held that level really well. It's looking pretty bearish. If all goes well, I do think EuroCAD's coming back to this low here at 1.46. Again, pretty clean move on the way up. This is kind of similar to the pound CAD position in terms of price has got a big level there of support. It's finally cracked through. We've had a really nice move to the upside, so we could probably be seeing a really nice move back down. Pretty smooth on the way up, pretty smooth on the way down. So yeah, to me, EuroCAD, I was expecting push back into the low. You might even go further than that, to be honest, but I think that's a pretty powerful level of support. So at least expect price to get there. Then we can judge afterwards. But yes, been a solid retest. If you have entered the trade, I'd probably say this could be a nice first target, the low. And then, 1.46 could be a next target. Depends on how many pips and what you're looking for, but that's kind of what I would be looking at if I was short EuroCAD. You entered at 1.48385. 1.4 is that 48385? So somewhere around here, and you got your TP at 1.471. Okay, so pretty much the wick low. Already break even. Okay, looking good, Shadrach. I have to say, looking good. Price is well on its way to hit your target at break even as well, which is always a nice place to be because it's up to the market now. You've done your job. You protected your capital. Now it's up to the market whether it's going to continue falling or it might reverse against you. Of course, nothing's guaranteed, but it does look pretty likely in terms of momentum, how things are looking, that we probably will get to that low. So yeah, just let the market do its thing. If you got electronic take profit there, don't necessarily need to even watch the trade as well. You can go about your day and let the market do the heavy lifting. But yeah, I think momentum's looking really good here. Momentum's looking good. It's a strong break of the low, and that was a really strong rejection and a strong close on yesterday's candle, as we can see there. So yeah, as long as that momentum persists, we're probably going to keep falling. So I can't. Yeah, it looks really good. I have to say. Looks good, and we can probably push to 1.46 as well. But yeah, I think CAD has been a bit strong, or maybe as euro and pound being a bit weak. How's Aussie CAD doing? Okay, it's looking a little bit bearish, but nothing crazy. New Zealand CAD. Okay, that's dropped a little bit. Okay, maybe CAD is a bit strong. Of course, yeah, CAD CHF pushed up. CAD yen. Yeah, CAD has been a little bit strong. But yeah, in terms of the technicals, I do like EuroCAD and PoundCAD to the downside, and of course they're very similar pairs as well, so they do similar things. If EuroCAD is looking pretty bearish, there's a pretty good chance PoundCAD is looking bearish as well. So that's a good thing to keep an eye for, Ben, as well. If EuroCAD keeps falling, you're probably in the right direction with PoundCAD as well. Okay, you've closed 50% of it. Okay, nice. Oh yeah, I remember you were short as well. Gonna struggle to swing it. I need to work on it. Do you mean work on yourself in terms of holding for swing trades, or are you talking about the trade itself as in not looking good for a swing? Yeah, because to me, I think it's got a lot of potential to swing back to the low. Okay, that's just the wrong broker. Yeah, I think it's got a lot of potential to come back to the low. So if I was short, I would be looking to swing. I'll be trading stops as well, so I would have that precaution just in case price does push against me. I'll still walk away with a smaller profit. But I think there's a good potential we can get back to 1.46 really. Oh, okay, working yourself to swing again. Yeah, I mean, I suppose it can be quite a change to the system, a shock to the system if you're going from intraday and then you're looking to swing trades a little bit longer because you just have that, you're looking at your chart, you're looking at your phone, you're seeing profit going up and down for ages. So it can be a little bit stressful. I think the best way to do it is to try and focus on other things really. Of course, have the time where you focus on placing trades and managing trades, but then when you're not looking at your MT4 platform or whatever platform you're trading on, you kind of want to almost forget about trading altogether. And that's the best way to kind of swing because you don't get in the way of it. It's very easy just to get bored and pull a trade because you're kind of getting annoyed of how it's moving. But if you forget about it, you can't pull the trade, can you? So that's kind of the way I do it. Euro USD, Euro Yen, okay. We'll take a look. I mean, maybe not in your sake, holy one, because you don't have that stop loss. So yeah, things can go wrong. But then again, it takes time for things to go wrong when you swing. Blessing, Euro USD, Euro Yen, okay, we'll have a look. No problem. Tom, jumping to CJ when CAD is very strong, or it's just pure technicals. Yeah, it's pure technicals, Tom. But yeah, I will get into the short if I do see the rejection in the 4-hour time frame. And again, I'm not looking for a little wick here. I'm looking for a strong rejection. If I see one, I'll take the trade. It's definitely more an aggressive trade. Like I said, I will reduce risk. But the idea of the trade is that if the market is going to hold this area and my bias is going to come into actuality, then I'm expecting price to hold this area and see some downside. If I am wrong and price does break through and we keep pushing, then I was probably wrong about the whole bias in terms of CAD coming down, and probably price is going to keep pushing up. In that case, I'll be looking for buys this time next week, looking for continuation. So this is a make or break area, which is why I want to have a stab at it. And if it does play out, the risk reward looks really, really good. But yeah, CAD is pretty strong. But I always say that about currency strength. Price is always very strong or very weak until it's not. For example, last week, yen was looking very, very strong as the yen pairs were plummeting. Now, a few days later, we're talking about how weak yen is. So you might not want to get in the way of this because price is looking pretty weak, but then it's looking strong again, and then potentially look weak again as well. So I try not to buy too much into currency strength unless I'm only looking for a small move. If I'm looking for a swing trade, then I don't really buy into that because I'm always going to be shorting a bullish currency or buying a bearish currency because I'm looking for it to turn around. But yeah, I need to wait for an entry signal yet, which I don't have. And if I don't have that, then yeah, the market might just keep pushing higher. If I see a strong bearish engulfing candle, I will go for it. In terms of Euro USD and Euro Yen, wow, Euro USD is looking pretty bearish right now, isn't it? So yeah, Euro USD is looking pretty bearish. I did say earlier today, if we are looking to long, I would like another stab to the downside for that long opportunity because price has just been consolidating all week pretty much. And I still think there's some nice upside potential for Euro USD at this low here. It's obviously an aggressive trade, but we're coming back into such a powerful area where we did reject really, really well in the past. There's a good chance we could see some upside again. So if you're looking for that aggressive trade, trying to take price to the upside, what I'll be looking for is Euro to kind of take out that low, see some rejection here, and then look to have that as a trade, stop loss below the zone, and then see if you can take it to the upside. If you're looking to play Euro USD to the downside and you're looking for shorts, then this is the area I'm eyeing. 1.07 was some solid rejection, solid support in the past, and could act as some nice resistance in the future. And it lines up really, really well with that 0.618 level there as well. So I want to see price at least pull back into this area before I even look to short Euro. This is still bearish. This is still bullish territory for me, so I can only be looking to buy in these areas, unless if you're looking for some short-term sells. But if you're looking to swing, this is where you're going to be looking for your buys if you're interested. If you're looking just to keep up with momentum, then I'll be waiting for a move up here. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Euro. Looking for a bit more downside to take out the lows and then a buy. And I'm looking for kind of the same thing on dollar, which is a push to the upside to take out the highs, then maybe a push down as well. Of course, we have to see how price reacts because we could take up the highs and just keep going. So we need to see a strong rejection afterwards. But that is what I'm looking at. And in terms of euro yen, I do like the shorts here. Price is trading at a nice area where, again, another low high could persist. We've got these lower highs kind of forming here. We've got first test roughly over there, second, third, and now fourth. If we are going to hold this high here, not break through, I am looking at another swing to the downside. If the market does go and break that structure, then yeah, we probably are going to be bullish with euro yen and push back to the high. But the key thing with euro yen, I like on the higher time frames as well, is that on the weekly chart, we are still rejecting this level as resistance. So if I take that level across, you can see price did close below pretty well last week. Nice wick to the upside, closed pretty bearish as a shooting star. So again, this week, I'm looking for price to leave another wick to the upside. It's only Wednesday. Price is already looking pretty bullish. I think there's a good chance that this just leaves a wick by the end of the week and we close as a doji, or maybe even close bearish as well. So yeah, that's kind of why I want to see price hold that area. If it keeps pushing and we close up here, then yeah, that will make me rethink things, and probably we are going to keep pushing to the upside after all. But for now, still holding structure. So to me, this still looks like a nice sell, and still in an area which sells do make sense. So if you're going to keep that structure, keep with those lower highs. Hey, what's up, CS Integrator? Welcome to the stream. No worries, my man. Better late than never. Kwame, euro pound. Okay, we'll have a look. See, bearish on the daily and 4 hour. Yes, we can have a look. Price to Tom looking to rate 111.5. Then I'll buy it on the pullback on 110. Okay, is that for CAD yen? Yeah, I mean, like I said, if CAD yen does go and break that high, then I won't be bearish anymore. It's pretty simple as that. You're looking for 111.5. That's the high pretty much. Yeah, so if you're looking to buy as well, then you need price to break through that level too, because this is not the best time to be looking to buy anything with CAD yen, because we've just seen a big bullish move. The market's a bit stretched now, and now we're testing that high. So this is definitely sellers territory. Whether sellers will successfully hold this level or not is yet to be seen. But if you are looking for longs, you either want price to push right back down and then look to take your longs from some lower prices, or you're waiting for price to break the high first, and then you can look for your long opportunities above that. So yeah, there's still bullish opportunities, and if we do see that break, like I said, that would probably rule me out of that bearish bias if it's a convincing enough break, not just like a candle closure like that. We very much could see the next one to come straight back down. So I need some convincing momentum above the high here, really, for me to remove that bearish bias. You know, a small candle closure above, we could easily see the next one close back below. But yeah, the break we test is a possibility. If you see a strong push above it, some pullbacks, could be a nice trade there to take. But yeah, we'll see as things develop. Wait for break and retest. Okay, is that for euro pound? Let me go have a look. See, haven't really looked at euro pound yet. So yeah, euro pound. I like this one to the upside. It is looking pretty bearish at the moment. You says looking bearish on the 4 hour and the daily chart. I would agree on the 4 hour. We have seen some nice momentum. Daily chart. I mean, depends what you're looking at. You're talking about the day, or you're talking about the overall trend. I think both is looking bearish, to be honest. But we are still trading in that massive monthly level, and I cannot forget that. So overall, I'm only looking at buying opportunities. I'm not really interested in sells. Not that you can't see some nice sells. It's just that you don't want to hold on that trade for too long. With me looking at a bigger swing, it doesn't make sense for me to short and hold at these prices. So I'm looking for some buys here for euro pound. And as I said last week, I mean, euro pound's not my watch list. So I say I'm looking for buys. I'm not looking for buys. Euro pound's not on my watch list. But if I was, I would be looking for buys. As I said, this would be the area which I would look to buy from, because it's right at the low. We've got the fake out to our advantage here. So I've got a nice place to position myself long, get a decent stop loss below. And if we are correct, you know, we're buying down low, where price is likely to bounce from. So something like that. And if we can get pushed back to the high there, I think that'd be a really nice trade. But overall, euro pound is so choppy, so I don't really like looking for pullbacks too much in euro pound. Um, and if I do look for pullbacks, it's got to be certain conditions because look how choppy the market is. It's a bit difficult to be looking for your break and retest in these conditions. But euro pound has a nice level there, so if you can get there, I think this is a nice place for a bounce. You push back to the high. I think that's a nice trade. You can call it a day there. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm looking at euro pound. You're looking for a break and retest at 0.3, 103. So you're looking for a break and retest of this level here to short. I suppose that looks like a nice opportunity. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't be looking to sell because of where we're trading in the higher time frames. But you know, if you are looking for a break and retest of that low, it probably will take us to that low there. So I don't mind that actually, because if we do break the low, we are most likely going to come back to the low and maybe create new lows too. So that looks like a nice trade. But for me, like I said, I'm only focused on the long, so where we're situated in higher time frames. So if we can hold this level, I think there's a lot of room to the upside for us on euro pound. So yeah, that's kind of my outlook there with euro pound. What's up, Ninad? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing good. CS Integrated, what's up? Okay, long in DXY, plan to close 106. Okay. Okay, then what's the range? Okay. Yeah, I mean, dollar has been a little bit back and forth this week. Wow, he's looking pretty bullish this morning, isn't it? So you said you're looking for 106, 100. Hey, appreciate that. CS Integrated. If you guys are joining the stream, please be sure to drop a like. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you find it useful, informative, educational. It does really help out with growing the channel. So I do appreciate everyone who has done that. And of course, hit the bell whilst you're at it so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. But yeah, appreciate that. Season's great. Little shout out there. But anyway, you said you're long at 106.1. Was this the setup you were mentioning yesterday? I think you said you were looking at some trades yesterday on the dollar. And plan to close at 106.9. Okay, looking very, very good. 106.9. Okay, back to the high there. Yeah, I mean, in terms of momentum, we're looking very good, I have to say. Dollar's looking very, very bullish at the moment. So yeah, in terms of momentum, I probably would expect us to get there because yes, we're testing some big levels, but the trend is still very much alive. So if that momentum is going to be a continuation, most likely going to get to the high there at 106.9, and then we'll see what happens from then afterwards. But I have to admit, it's looking really good there. CS integrated looking very, very good. Looking very, very good. Momentum looks strong as well. And yeah, we just had a look at some of the USD pairs, and they're looking pretty bearish. Euro USD not looking too hot. Pound USD likewise. Aussie dollar, how we doing? That one's falling out the sky as well. New Zealand dollar, maybe something similar. Yeah, that's not looking too hot. How's gold doing? Is gold looking bearish, or are we still trying to pull back? Doji, more or less neutral. But yeah, I mean, if dollar is going to be strong, it depends how strong it's going to be for how long and how long as well. It's looking very strong now. It might continue for the next couple of days, but then if it's weak, then we might still see dollar keep pushing up. I mean, regardless, that's just me speculating. You know, I know the setup I'm looking for, which is the retest of the high there. See if we get there. We don't really with gold, but I am looking at some moves to the downside here and looking for price to come back to 25.40. And worst case scenario, I don't get the trade with gold. I'll just sit on my silver position and see where that does. But the thing is, if gold does move down, silver's probably going to move down as well. But I've already locked in some gains and stops ready at break even, so I just let it do its thing really. But yeah, if gold does push up, then yeah, I'm definitely looking at that short 100%. Ninad, okay, looking at oil, we'll have a look at that as well. No problem, UD. Have a good one. Take care. Forex Hunters, okay. Euro USD, we'll have a look. See, no problem. Appreciate that, Shadrach. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, Forex Hunters, we'll take a look at Euro. Don't spam the chat, please. No problem. CS integrated. Happy to help. My personal opinion, DXY going to make Euro, Pound, Aussie, New Zealand have a new lower low. I do think DXY will push through 107.2. Possibly. Again, yeah, DXY is the governing force, and if DXY is going to push through 107.2 and take up the highs, then maybe we are going to get a breakout. But again, either which way, if we do see a break of this level, we don't. There's opportunity here because this level is going to be the catalyst either for a really big move down, or it's going to be a catalyst for a big breakout, which is going to in turn give us a big move to the upside. And I'll be looking at price eventually coming to the high. So I'm not really too concerned. Again, my expectation is when we do come to a big level like this, especially in a ranging market, it's not like dollar's been trending to the upside into this level. It's been ranging. So especially in a ranging market, I'm always expecting the range to hold until it doesn't. That's just like a default setting I have. So that's kind of why I'm expecting dollar to see some downside. And if it doesn't, and if you do get the breakout, just like every range will eventually break out. If dollar decides it wants to break out now, then let's break out. Let's see a confident candle closure on the weekly chart above this. And maybe that'll be the catalyst for the breakout. And then I'll be looking at following that momentum really. And I'll be bullish on USD. But as a swing trader, it's difficult for me to be bullish at these prices. Day trading, scalping, you can take your piece of the pie there, here and there, because you're not looking to hold for too long. So you can take advantage of that intra-week or intraday momentum. But of a swing trade, if you're looking to hold for a few days, it's difficult to hold at these prices unless we break through. So that's why I'm bearish biased. But yeah, the momentum is still strong. I mean, well could push through that high as well. And if we do, I'll see how we close on the higher time frames, because we could still push through and then push back underneath, and then things get a bit awkward. Because if that leaves just a big wick on the daily chart or the weekly chart, then all it means is just more rejection, even though we've made a higher high and a lower low in other USD pairs. So I'll be paying a lot of attention to the higher time frames. Anyway, I'll go through oil, then I'll take a look at Euro USD. Okay, so oil, wrong one. So oil, okay, wow, look at that for a bounce in oil. I was looking for oil to come a little bit deeper yesterday, but no, it was looking really bullish. Actually, did it hit the level? No, not quite. So yeah, I'm looking for a bounce here for oil around 66. Didn't quite get there. Looking pretty bullish at the moment. Yeah, this is the next best place for a short 72, effectively the high of the range, really. So yeah, oil's looking pretty bullish. I'm not really looking to do anything. You're expecting 72,000 for oil, which is back at that level there. And yeah, I'll be looking at that as an area to short. I wouldn't necessarily expect the move there, but if it does get there, I think that's a great place to short. We've seen evidence on multiple occasions of price really failing at that level. So if we do get there again, there's a good chance we're going to sell off. Again, it might not be the full swing back to the low, but if I can get the Fibonacci, map out 50%, which is about here, yeah, 50% there could be a great target to have. I think realistically, that's a great place where you can expect price to get to. Then maybe we continue the full swing, but at least the push back to that area, I think is logical. So yeah, I mean, it's a strong rejection off the low. It didn't quite come into the weekly level, but if we are looking to get involved in some shorts, this is the place I would look to do that. I can get a solid stop loss above the high, and in turn the risk reward looks pretty good as well. So yeah, 72 looks good. I think that's a really nice level in the 4 hour. So keep an eye on that. And if you do get there, see some good rejection. To me, that looks like a nice trade in oil. But oil's just been up and down. It's not necessarily trending well. It's just kind of rejecting level after level, really. So it's just about timing the shorts well, timing the buys well. And that would be a nice level to try and anticipate that. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with oil. I'll go take a look at Euro USD before Forex Hunter blows some steam. So yeah, Euro, as I mentioned before, trading at a similar level to the DXY. So I do think there could be a really big bounce here with Euro USD, massive level of support here. If we're going to turn around for Euro, if this momentum is going to find a bottom and push up, this is most likely the area it's going to do that from. So I'm looking for a bounce to the upside there. We have that range we had pretty much all week. I'm looking to see if price will take out the low, create a new low, and then reject it. I think that could be a nice place to buy Euro from, because there will be a lot of kind of early sellers from last week who would have stops here as well. So price can go and take that out and then give you a nice fresh signal. That could be a nice buy. It might not push all the way back to the high there, but probably at least give you a nice one-to-one where you can look to manage the trade and see what you want to do after that. But possibly we might see the move there. And if we do, great. I do like the shorts up here, retesting that low. As I said on a number of occasions, we've got the lovely 0.618 in that area. If I map it from the high to the low, as you can see, lovely level there at 1.007. So if we do get the move up there, I think shorts look really good to take it back down into the low. And likewise, I think the buys look good, take it back up. Always a little bit aggressive to take the buys because you're going against all that momentum for the past however many weeks we've been seeing that. But it does make sense. You're trading a really big level and you can always refine that stop loss. And worst case scenario, you do take a loss there. Best case, you could be onto a really nice winner, which you could trail and price could go very, very far. So it's just how you want to tackle it. If you're looking for the buys are there. Bit more aggressive, yes, but it makes sense. If you're looking for the sells, still waiting for a bigger pullback because I don't want to be selling at these prices. But yeah, that's kind of my outlook there with Euro. UCEFX, remember I told you last week had Yen dollar in your buy. Yeah, you did say that. Really nice move. I mean, I'm still looking to short CAD Yen, to be honest. If it does reject the level at 111, I am looking to take some shorts there. But yeah, it was a really big move, especially with dollar yen as well. In fact, dollar yen's just been really bullish. I've never been looking to short dollar yen because dollar yen has still been trading above that weekly level, which is, I don't know what price it is, 152, 151. Dollar yen's been trading above this level here, so I haven't been looking to short dollar yen. But CAD yen, we're rejecting that high still. So I am still looking for some sells here. But yeah, if CAD yen does go and break that high, then I'll rest my case. I won't be looking at sells anymore, and I will be looking at continuing that bullish move back to the high. But we'll see how we develop this week. Seeing a little bit of momentum there, but I need a strong bearish engulf before I consider shorting. And I know it's a bit more of an aggressive trade. I'll reduce risk because of that, but it's still at the level I expect price to hold. And if it doesn't, like I said, I'll probably look to change my bias. All right. Okay. Nice. Ben. Okay. We'll take a look at some of the indices. Okay. Personal feelings, but my rational brain says just take profit. And just, yeah. I mean, again, if you say you take profit there, I think it's a nice place for a TP. It makes sense. The risk reward looks probably decent in that position as well. So, yeah, I think just respect the take profit. You can always take 80% of your profit and leave 20% to run if you want to. But the worst case scenario would be that you don't take profit where you're meant to, and then price reverses, and you're like, oh, I should have took my profit. Now I'm walking away with half the profits, or maybe even a break even. So, you always want to do what you said you will do, because then again, if you do what you said you will do, you can always look back at that and revise and see if you can improve, rather doing things outside of what you said you will do. Then you're kind of just making things up as you go along. So if you had to take profit there, I would respect it, but you can close most of your profit. And if you want to leave more to run, you can always leave a little 20-25% to run and see what happens with that. Ben, okay, we'll take a look at some indices as well. No problem. We'll have a look at the DAX too. No problem, Ninad. Happy to help. Viewing the market, very useful. Glad to hear. Glad to hear. Okay, nice. Forex Hunter, nice. Okay, we'll go through some indices. So yeah, with the indices, we were looking pretty bullish yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Might have had a bit of a drop in the push. I mean, US 30, I still want to see a lot more downside before I expect any buys on this one. You can see the lovely channel prices moving in, consistent higher highs and higher lows. We tested this channel 1, 2, 3. That's a fake out. 4, 5, number 6 over here potentially. So if we can get there, again, looking for the same bounce, another push to the upside. We've done a good job at respecting the high of the channel as well. And there was a lot of momentum. Of course, this is from the US elections, but if you can continue this kind of slow corrective move down, I think that's still a nice place for a buy, or at least a nice place for a bounce. It might not take us back there again, but I do expect us to bounce. And if you look at the higher time frame conditions, the market's still very bullish. So the only thing I want to do here really with US 30 is buy. And that is really where the confidence lies for me. So yeah, I do like the buys for US 30, although I would want a bit more retracement before buying. I would be looking upside. S&P 500 was at a nice place for a buy. It actually played out pretty well. I was speaking about the retest of this level here yesterday. We were trading around here, and I said we might have one more push to the downside, but if it can leave behind a nice wick, that could end up being a nice buy because the market has had a pretty big sell here. So there's a lot of momentum. So we need that momentum to kind of flush out a little bit. And we did it with that wick. And now price has a nice reaction. So with S&P, yeah, we're a little bit corrective now. Still think we can get at least back to this area here. Maybe price wants to have a deeper correction. That could be it. But I do like the buys with S&P. This one tagged the 0.5 on the fib. Yeah, tagged it very well. So that was always a nice buy there on the S&P. But yeah, I think that setup's kind of gone now. If you haven't really found an entry, the risk reward's a bit skewed. But yeah, S&P, I'm expecting more upside, and NAS, I'm expecting more upside as well. But this one didn't quite come into the area I was looking for. You know, I was looking for price to come a little bit deeper, retest the lower end, similar to US 30 really, and retest that area for a buy. But it looks like it's kind of bouncing in the middle. But anyway, in terms of the direction for the indices, very bullish. Overall, the market is just in bullish structure. And that's the thing with indices. It's not like FX. When the market's bullish, you want to be buying. FX, that trend will probably come to an end pretty soon. But indices, if we're going to really push, we're going to really push. And then in terms of the DAX, we've seen some nice bounces with the DAX as well. Nice bounce yesterday. We've been speaking about that daily level for a while. Really nice rejection there. Turn support there as well. But it's just awkward with the DAX because this area looks good for a buy, yes. But as soon as we kind of leave that area and price pushes up, we're back into some areas of supply, resistance. Things look awkward. So I wouldn't be looking for any entries in this area because sellers can step in. If you're looking to short, I'd wait for another push a little bit higher up into this area before shorting so I can get a decent little stop loss in. And if you're looking to buy, I'd wait for price to push back down into the low again. We've seen some really nice rejections of this low and, of course, as resistance as well. So it has been an area which the DAX has respected on numerous occasions. But at the moment, kind of in the middle of nowhere. I know we're testing some structure here on the left, but nothing significant in my view anyway. So yeah, I'd wait for the DAX to push at least to 19,300 before shorting, or at least down to 8,900 before looking for anything. But overall, the DAX is still pretty bullish to me, and I do think we can hold this to continue the trend really. So that is the play I'm looking at. But yeah, overall for the indices, it's pretty bullish. I'll predominantly be looking for buys until proven otherwise. Hey, appreciate that, Kwame. If you guys are enjoying the stream, make that like button bullish. I do like that term. Um, it does really help out the streams, as I said. I do really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who has liked the stream so far. And of course, whilst you have to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. Make sure you check that out. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the indices. In terms of the kind of the crosses, other pairs, I'm not really so. Don't really have many opportunities there. New Zealand CHF. Go to FXCM. New Zealand CHF is a market I'm looking to buy. Actually, I'm actually looking to buy if you can get back to that low. It's looked a little bit bullish since we last spoke, but I'm hoping we can have one more sell-off, and that's the buy I'm looking for. Again, we're trading at some really low prices here, and I do think we can at least bounce off that area. If we break through, then we're probably going to come back to the low anyway. So again, make or break area. But yeah, New Zealand CHF is kind of the only other crosses like under any other pairs that, because my main focus was gold, still is gold. Gold shorts, no problem, Ben. Happy to help. My main focus is still gold shorts and CAD yen shorts now. I like pound yen shorts as well, but I'm just going to focus on CAD yen. Like I said, if you're shorting one yen pair, you short them all really, maybe apart from dollar yen. And then outside of that, of course, I'm still managing silver. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me, to be honest. There's some other pairs that look okay, but nothing really where I'm looking at. And some other pairs need some work. Like I do like Aussie yen and New Zealand yen, really, if they do break out of their ranges. Because I think that would be some really impressive breakouts because these guys have been ranging. Can I not spell? There we go. Because these guys have been ranging for a while, quite a few weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, arguably 7 weeks we've been ranging. So if these guys do break out, I think we're onto something here. I think it's actually not a bad trade here, the shorts up here. I don't really look to trade ranges, but if I did, this would be an opportunity I'll be looking at. Because overall the market's pretty flat. We're back at the high. The opportunity I'm waiting for personally is the break of this low. And then when that happens, I'll be looking for the retest. And there's a long, long way down for us, back to the lows there, probably further as well. So could be onto a really big winner there with the yen pairs. And that's the thing with the yen pairs. If they do sell meaningfully in terms of the trend changing, then you could be onto some really big winners. I'm just not quite convinced with them yet. They're still really corrective. CAD yen still looking really corrective on the way up. Still no entry signal for me yet, but keeping an eye. Pound yen very corrective on the way up as well. So still looking for a lower high to form with this one. Back testing that trend line again as well. We have broken above that support. This was the level I was looking to short from this week. We have kind of broken above it, but it might just be price breaking the level to break back below. So that could be the situation. But again, the key thing is we're still respecting structure. If we were to suddenly go break through that, that's when I'll rethink things. Same with Euro yen as well. That's when I'll rethink things if we were to break above that. But we'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of momentum yesterday and this morning. We will see. But yeah, my main focus will be gold, which is looking pretty okay. It's flipped bullish again. Is dollar relaxing, or maybe it's relaxing a little bit? Yeah, I think there's still a chance we can get gold back to 26.43, which is the level I'm looking to sell from. I think there's still a chance we can get there. I'm just gonna have to be patient. How is silver doing? Are we still collapsing out the sky, or are we finding some support now? Nope, still looking pretty bearish. I mean, we've just come back into this area, so we'll see if that can hold. But my stop's still break even. I haven't trailed it, so I'm kind of giving it maximum room to do something. Yeah, but you can see overall the conditions just really choppy in this area. So I like where my entry is because it's right at the low of the range. This is where we've got really strong support resistance as well. So if price is going to get back here, it might bounce again. I don't think I'll be looking for any more entries, to be honest. It's not really a trade in which I'm looking for continuation. It's more of a trade which I'm just looking to take advantage of a retracement, um, which I kind of have done. The thing about taking advantage of retracement, you have to be prepared for the continuation, which could happen at any point. So if we do continue back down, I won't look for re-entries because effectively the retracement's done. It's not like I'm looking for the reversal. In that case, I would look for re-entries because I'm expecting price to continue up, not necessarily for silver here. So if it does come back to my entry, I'll stop out and take the partial win. But yeah, gold is still my boy, so I have to wait for that one, and then I'll wait for gold CAD yen as well. Seeing some momentum, hopefully that can keep up. But yeah, in terms of the other crosses though, like the pound NZDs, the pound Aussies, just not really good, to be honest. I have to admit. It's been a while since I've actually traded some of these pairs actually. Pound Aussie, can't remember my last trade in that one. Pound NZD, can't remember my last trade in that one as well. It's definitely been a while. But yeah, I mean, as a swing trader who trades more than 30 pairs, I do go for a while without taking a trade. All right, see ya. Will, take care, my man. We'll wait for gold. Yeah, I'll be waiting with you. I think we're looking at pretty much the same opportunity. So hopefully when we chat tomorrow, we're in some gold trades. But yeah, take care, my man, and we'll see you tomorrow. So yeah. We'll have to stay patient. But yeah, there's nothing with these pairs that I like. Just overall trading in really big ranges. That is the wrong tool. I mean, that could be a nice trade there, but it's just not in the right conditions for it. Because this looks like a really textbook head and shoulder pattern. There's your left, your head, and your right shoulder. That's your neckline. Break through that. You're looking at continuation right back to the low. So it's a nice opportunity in terms of the market structure. It makes sense, rejecting the high here as well. Could just see now price continue to the low. So I can definitely make sense of that. But I'd rather not trade it, or I'll probably find a better trade to take. And that's kind of the situation when you do trade a lot of pairs, that you will see a lot of okay trades. But, just because it's an opportunity doesn't mean you necessarily have to take it. So yeah, UNSD not the biggest fan of that, but that's what I would be expecting. And Euro Aussie, pretty much the same thing as well, which is doing the head and shoulder pattern. Oh. That'll probably take us to new lows as well. But yeah, conditions are just way too choppy. Okay, we'll go through some CHF pairs. I haven't gone through the CHF pairs yet. The only CHF pair that I do like is New Zealand CHF, but Aussie CHF, yeah. I mean, the reason why I'm not a fan of this one is because we're not trading at any significant areas. These are the areas which I want to get involved in. I caught some shorts over there last time, and I will take some shorts again if we get back there. The plan was for a move to the low, didn't quite happen. Now we're kind of just moving back and forth and acting a little bit weird. So I want price to push back to the high. This is where I see value. And of course, if you guys push back to the low, that's great as well. Pretty much the same trade as the New Zealand CHF I'm looking to take. If you can get back to the low there, I'll be looking, where I'm looking to get involved. But right now, I don't know, it's just no area of significance, not really doing much. Structure looks all over the place as well. Just difficult to make sense and find quality there as well. So not really looking much in Aussie CHF. Let me know what you're looking at. We have seen a little bit of a push to the upside, but Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of the market structure here. So yeah, with Aussie CHF, I would wait for price to get all the way up to 0.586 or push all the way down to 0.562 for me to look for entries. In these areas, I would highly suggest to stay away. And if you are looking to trade, you're looking to be there only for a short time, because the chances are price is probably going to come back to your entry price at some point. At least here, yes, price could come back to your entry price as well, but at least, if it does, you're expecting it to continue a lot further. Whereas here, you can very much get wicked out and see price moving in the direction as well. So yeah, Aussie CHF, I don't really have a bias for this one until we get to some of those areas I just mentioned, and then I can start to look for some opportunities. But in the middle here, not really seeing any quality or any significance in price. Even CAD CHF, even though I don't like this pair at the moment, at least this one's trading at the top end of a range. And if we are going to reject the top end of the range, there's a big chance we could see a lot of downside. So this one looks like a much better short to me. We've seen a lot of rejection in the past. Over here, nice rejection once, twice, third time, a fourth time at the moment. So if you can reject that area, there's a good chance we could sell off again, at least back to the 50, then possibly back to the low there as well. So I can see value here with price on CAD CHF, and in fairness, we're taking some shorts in the direction of the trend as well. So we do have that to our advantage. So I don't mind the shorts here. With CAD CHF, pound CHF, this one's a little bit tricky as well. Again, I'm looking for the continuation of that move here, but it's just been so choppy. It's difficult to get any quality with this one as well. I think what would be nice with pound CHF is if we can actually break the low of the range here, and then probably look for some shorts on the back of that, and then we can look to trade it back into that low. So at the end of the day, we're looking for the continuation of that big drop in July. This is just like the prolonged retracement of that move. And then if we do take some breaking retest, there's a good chance we can short it all the way back to the low there and look at some really healthy moves. So we had a pretty clean move on the way up, probably see a pretty clean move on the way back down as well. So pound CHF could look like a nice opportunity if it does develop well, but in the middle here, inside that range, I wouldn't want to touch it. You're just not seeing much value there with price at all. So until we get the strong break, I won't be looking to do anything there with pound CHF. In terms of Euro CHF, this one's still stuck in its range, I believe. Yeah, projecting the lows there pretty well. Projecting the highs there pretty well too, minus that move there. But again, not really seeing much quality there in price. I do expect us to eventually get to the low, but I'm not really seeing much opportunity to trade that unless we push back to the up end of the range. That could be a nice short. Other than that, don't see much in price. All right, take care. Ben, have a good one, man. Hopefully we'll chat to you tomorrow. But yeah, Euro CHF not looking too good either. So not a big fan of Euro Swiss. And then CHF JPY I already discussed with the yen pairs. But yeah, that's kind of it for the yen pairs. Euro, pound, CAD, Aussie, New Zealand. Yeah. Of course, dollar CHF as well, which I haven't actually discussed yet. But this one's pushing up. And again, USD is the main driver with that, not necessarily yen weakness, Swiss weakness. But I don't really have a setup for this one either. Again, float in the middle of nowhere really for me. So not really looking at a trade. Do expect us to eventually retrace, but not really seeing much signs of that. Not really seeing much signs. Are you off too as well, Holy One? Or are you saying bye to them? But yeah, dollar CHF. Definitely not a pair which I'm looking to trade at the moment. I think out of the only USD pairs I'll look to trade is if your USD can give me a decent pullback. I wouldn't mind some shorts on that one on the retest of 1.07. And then gold, to be honest, those are the only USD pairs I like. Well, actually pound USD as well. It's just not close to my level at all. Neither is euro, to be honest. So yeah, I do like pound USD as well, but that'll probably be a trade for next week or maybe in the week after. We need to see a lot of bullish momentum to get us up at those prices. So it's difficult to get any trades in at the moment until we see that pullback. But it's a nice setup, ticks the box as well. Healthy retracement, really strong confidence in that area. So yeah, I do like that short as well. But yeah, that's really what I'm looking to do, take advantage of USD, of that USD trend. But it needs to have a pullback. It needs to retrace. Can't be looking to get involved at these areas because dollar is still right at the highs. So although intraday, yes, there might be some setups along the way, but from a swing perspective, not the place you want to be looking to buy. This is definitely seller's territory and where we could see some downside. And just because we have had that momentum, it doesn't mean things can't turn around very, very quickly as well. Things are very, very bullish until they're not. Vice versa as well. Things are very bearish until they're not as well. Look at this, all that momentum. I know people will probably be looking at heavy sells at this point with all that momentum, and then suddenly price forms support, and then we're looking pretty bullish, and then you see a humongous run to the upside. Of course, that doesn't happen every time. It's obviously very difficult to catch that low. But what I'm trying to say is that just because we're seeing a lot of momentum doesn't necessarily mean it will continue, especially when we're hitting some levels like this. If we're in the right conditions and we're seeing healthy trends, then yeah, of course, you expect momentum to continue. But in ranges, especially when you're at the top of the range as well, that's what I'm expecting, a little bit of a bounce. Starting cutting the onions early. Bless her. Well, you best get to it then, mate. Because I'm not cutting your onions for you. Okay, let me check the news for today. I know we've got, I think PMI on Friday. Okay, no, we don't really have much today, to be honest. Yeah, nothing today, really. Then we've got jobless claims tomorrow with USD. We've got PPI with CAD. We've got existing home sales. And we've got PMI for Aussie and inflation for yen. That'll be interesting. So yeah, today pretty much smooth sailing, no major news event. Whether you're scalping, day trading, or swing trading. All right, take care, my man. Have a good one. Have fun cutting those onions. But yeah, in terms of today, nothing. Tomorrow we do have a few news events, but I think the bigger one that I'll be focused on, especially with me having interest in yen, will be the inflation rate for yen, but that will be at night at 11:30. Jobless claims, existing home sales, not the biggest news events, can cause some movement. I'm not really looking to trade USD apart from gold, Euro USD and pound USD sales that probably won't come this week. Of course, I am in silver, so I guess that's going to be affected by dollar as well. But that position is already managed. I'm not really too worried about that. But yeah, I'll keep an eye with that. The big one is the inflation rate for yen. Really, that's what I'll be focused on. And then the day after, Friday, we got pound PMI at 9:30. We got euro PMI at 9 o'clock. We've got retail sales for CAD. We've got PMI for USD at 245. Michigan consumer sentiment at 3. And that finishes off the week. So not a major news week, but a few bits here and there. Not much next week either. When's the first Friday? Okay, first Friday of the month is not next week, it's the week after. Damn, already coming to December already. Time flies. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm focused. How is CAD Yen doing? Because I could take a trade pretty much on the next 4 hour candle if CAD Yen does its job. Okay, it's pulled back a little bit. Still got 2 hours and 7 minutes before the candle does close. So, and that's the beauty of the 4 hour candle. Don't need to be aggressively looking at the charts. I get in terms of the 4 hour candle, you get 6 candle closures per day, and effectively 2 of them you're probably not going to take because you'll probably be sleeping. Um, and so that means you've got 4 candle closures, which means you've got 4 possible opportunities to enter a chart, enter a trade. So as long as you have the charts for those 4 times of the day, you're good. You're good to go. You got your entries. Of course, the idea with the 4 hour chart is you probably get less trades, but you'll still make up for it in terms of the risk reward and the length you'll be holding them. But when you trade as many pairs as I do, it's not really an issue. Over 30, I think 31 pairs I do look at, and soon to be 32 with US 30 as well. So there's more than enough opportunities there. It's just about picking the better ones and then just focusing your efforts there. But yeah, we'll see how CAD Yen does develop. 2 hours left for this one. Okay, gold's pushing up a little bit. Yeah, I think gold can get there, to be honest. When that kind of did close a little bit, yeah, I wasn't expecting price to push up. I mean, it's only looking a little bit bullish now. We've still got a long way to go, but the fact is we haven't just sold off straight away, especially when the other USD pairs are being pretty bearish. Euro USD has been falling. It's pulled back actually. Pound USD, have we pulled back? A little bit. So yeah, there is hope. There is hope there for gold. So keep an eye on that. If you can push up, spike a little bit higher, that will take out any early sellers as well for gold too. And then get the short from that area. That's what I'm looking at. And again, entries will be on the 4 hour time frame as well with this one as well. So that's really where my focus will be. And then as soon as I get the trade on gold, I will look to close my trade on silver, wherever it is ready. Wrong broker. But yeah, after silver did break structure here, that's when I went to break even and secured 50%. The overall risk reward is about a 1 to 2 back to the high there. But as I closed half, it's a bit less now. But we'll see if we can get there. If not, like I said, I'll close the trade earlier. Don't mind it. The trade idea was always take advantage of retracement rather than pro trend. So I was never really looking to continue this trade too far. And the bigger trade on gold is always going to be my main focus. So as soon as I get the entry there, I'll be looking for some downside. Look at that. Gold's pushing now. Have a look in the hourly chart. Yeah, seeing some upside. So we found some support here for gold. Not breaking through. Possibly might start to push up again. And then might get the sell. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that for gold. And that's the important thing. Not taking any entries outside of your plan. Even if it just misses your zone by a small margin. I know the market's not perfect, but you don't want to be wasting your bullets where you don't need to be using them. Spend your capital wisely. But gold is my main focus. New Zealand CHF, I'll keep an eye out. That's another pair which I do like. It's a little bit further away from an entry, but if it does start falling off and coming back into the low there around 0.51550, I'll look for some entries to take price to the upside there as well. That's another pair on the watch list. Of course, CAD Yen looking for the bearish engulfing candle. I don't mind pound yen, but I think I'm just going to focus on CAD because it's a bit more stretch. It's right at the high. Safer place for a stop loss as well, because CAD Yen stop loss will be above pretty much all structure for the week. So yeah, I like the setup there for CAD Yen. So that will be my main focus. Yeah. And then Euro Yen looks okay as well, but I prefer CAD. I do like Euro Yen because it's still holding onto that weekly level. I know we're looking pretty bullish now, but I always anticipate price to hold that level until it doesn't really, until we see a candle closure above. I'm always going to anticipate this to be a wick on the weekly time frame. And I do think we can pull back, maybe close as a doji or a small bullish candle, maybe even close bearish if price is really weak. But if we do push up and close very strongly this week above the high, then yeah, I'll rethink things, and maybe we are seeing a big break of that level, and maybe price is going to remain bullish. And if that's the case, I'll be looking for higher lows, looking to buy and follow that trend a lot higher. But first things first, need to break structure for that to happen, which is the break of that high. And then I'll look to see what we can do afterwards. But is the basket breaking lower? Yeah, the basket. Oh, look at that. Really big move in the basket there to the downside. Of course, that would be an indication of yen finding some weakness. How are we doing on the index? JP225. Okay, not much. I was expecting a bit more there on the index, to be honest, because with the index, if we do push up, so do the yen pairs. I mean, we provide a bit of a wick there, but overall, we're still doing a pretty good job at holding on to that weekly level there. So again, if this can sustain, I do think we can break to the downside for the yen pairs. So yeah, I still think there is a good chance for some downside. Basket not looking too great, but the index, I was expecting a bit of a bounce. If the index goes and breaks that support level, I think that's when we see the yen pairs really tank. And of course, if that's the case and I can get some shorts on CAD yen, I can really refine my risk there and be onto a nice winner. Probably see if we can get moved back to this support level. Seeing a lot of rejection here, once, twice, third time. If we can get pushed there, depends on the entry, but could be looking at a nice, 1 to 2 into that low. And maybe we can leave some positions to run to potentially 1 to 3 as well, or a lot more, because that would be the end goal. But I'll be training as well, so I'll probably be trailed out by then. But even if I can take half of that, that'll be a great position. But we are starting to pull back a little bit there, so and we'll wait for the entry signal. But at the moment, only managing silver for now, so we'll wait for that to do its thing. But I've secured profits already, so no need to worry about that. I'll see if I can get the trade on gold, and that'll be my main focus for the rest of the week. It's looking pretty bullish at the moment, so hopefully that can continue. Get some shorts on gold, get shorts on CAD yen. I don't mind taking them both. Maybe get longs on New Zealand CHF as well. But that, guys, has brought us to the end of the stream. If you have found it useful, please be sure to smash the like button. It does really help out the channel. I do really appreciate each and every one of you who has liked. It does really help out. Subscribe to the channel as well. If you're enjoying the content, please make sure you go do so. And of course, hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. Check out Elevating Traders Discord channel as well. Link to that at the top of the chat, and also in the description below. So make sure you check it out. You can chat to myself about different trading opportunities, chat with other traders, and join the community as well. So if you are interested, make sure you go check that out, and you can find a discount code for 50% off as well. But guys, really do appreciate you tuning in. Have a great Wednesday. I'm live every day this weekday, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So if you're free tomorrow, feel free to pop in and say hi. But guys, really appreciate you tuning in. Have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.